Hello, beginning cello players, fourth graders at Zaharis. Welcome to your first practice video. I have my cello out here and my bow out. I don't want you to get yours out. I'm sorry if I'm tempting you right now. I really want to talk about instrument safety, parts of the instrument. I hope that you were able to get through the modules for week 1 on Canvas last week. If you have questions, please reach out to me. Send me an email. I'd be happy to help you. We're just going to talk about how to take care of this thing is really the big goal. And then I'm going to talk a lot about exercises we can do to practice good bow holds, how to take care of your bow. And this might be the most important thing you ever learn. The bow is going to be what gets you the great sound on your instrument. You can have all the great things here, but if you don't have a great bow hold, you're not getting a good tone cookie. Okay, we need those good tone cookies to make an amazing orchestra. So what you're gonna really do is the most important thing you'll ever do, learn how to hold the bow properly and get your bow hand stronger with those good exercises. Okay, it might not be the funnest thing you'll ever do, but it is the most important thing. So please be patient, please have self-control. Please don't try things that I haven't taught you yet, just because I want to keep you safe as far as not breaking your instrument. These cellos are expensive. I mean, they can be almost $1,000 for a cello, sometimes more than that. So be very, very careful. I want to talk about cases. Most of the time you'll have a soft case for your cello. It does not really protect it. So when you put your cello away, always put it in the case. You'll always put the end pin inside the cello. Okay, the end pin is this part here. I'll talk about how to open that up a little bit, but you're not going to actually use your cello to play on until next week at the very soonest, okay? We're going to see how those bow holds are going. If the bow holds are not going so well, it might be a couple weeks. So really, really work hard on your bow hold, okay? So cellos have a soft case and they're very expensive. So two kind of dangerous combinations. We want to make sure that your instrument does not get damaged, that your parents don't have to pay a bunch of money because something happened. That would not be fun. Okay, so always put it in the case when you're done practicing. Okay, you're not using it this week, but when you do start to get it out, you're always going to put it away. And then when you put it in the case, when you store the case, you're going to store it on its side. Okay, never store it on the back and never ever store it on the bridge. This is the bridge here. The bridge is not glued to the instrument, so if it falls off, please don't try to glue it. That's not a good idea. The bridge is very sensitive. It can break very easily. You never want to put the cello on top of the bridge or give any pressure on the bridge. It's not a good idea. Okay, some other things you need to know. These are the strings. There's 4 strings on the cello. I like to pluck them from the one that's closest to your body and out. Don't try it yet. Just listen, because I'm teaching you what the notes are called, and I want you to have this knowledge before you actually try it. So see if you can share this with me when I come to hear you in your class this week. The strings from lowest to highest: cats, go, dancing, around. Every day I want you to say that. Cats, go, dancing, around. What do those words start with? The letter they start with is the name of the string. Cats, C, go, G, dancing, D, around, A. Those are the names of your strings. You got to know this, okay? It's important stuff. So practice saying those every day. You don't need to pluck them to say it. Watch this video. Watch it more than once. Say it every time you hear me pluck it. That'll be just as good right now, okay? These holes in your cello, they're good. They're supposed to be here. F holes, they kind of look like the letter F. We're going to talk about them a lot as you start playing, because that's where the sound comes from, and that is a good, it's what I call the driving lane for your bow. I call your bow a car a lot, so your car needs to stay on the right lane of the freeway. and that would be right across these holes right here, okay, in a straight line. We'll get to more of the bow stuff in a minute. So we got the strings, we got the bridge, we got the F-holes. We have some fine tuners here. Don't tune your instrument if it really needs tuning. I have tuning appointments every week. Your parents can come bring it in to me. Never ever touch the pegs. You can easily break a string. If your parents used to play this instrument, they really know what they're doing, and they want to watch my tuning video that my friend made on the Canvas page, then that's okay. But it's only okay if your parents know all of that stuff and they've watched it, and they're going to take the risk. If they break a string, they have to get a new one, okay? Otherwise, I'm happy to tune it for you, okay? Definitely, you're beginning. I don't want you to try to tune your own instrument. That's kind of crazy. Okay, the other thing is this long board here. It's called fingerboard. We'll talk about that a lot as you start learning, so you need to know what it is. We call this part the neck. This is the body. So we've learned a lot. Bridge, F-holes, strings, fingerboard, neck, body, okay, fine tuners, pegs, and this little part up top, kind of like curlies around, it's called the scroll. People always thought I was saying a squirrel, like the animal. No, it's not a squirrel. Scroll, okay? Yeah. And then we talked about the end pin earlier. The end pin will be something that we talk about a lot more next week. Since you're not getting your cello out, you won't need to worry about the end pin today, okay? And we're already doing a lot of other stuff. So that's enough about the cello parts. And they're also written in the modules, so make sure to look at that. That'll be helpful. And then the bow, we need to know how to take really good care of the bow, okay? The bow has hair on it. This is horsehair. Just, they gave the little horse a haircut, and we cannot touch the bow hair. If we touch the bow hair with our skin, it's very, very bad for it. So never touch the bow hair. That's a good rule to always remember. Never leave your cello in a hot car or outside or somewhere where it's cold or warm. Temperature is really sensitive to these things. Keep them in a nice air-conditioned, soft location. No food or drinks near it. It's somewhere where nobody can trip on it, knock it over. No animals or small children around it. Yeah, we would really protect this thing, okay? So parts of the bow. There's a little turning screw down here. And then what we call this part where I'm holding is the frog, just like the animal. Ribbit, ribbit, frog. So we'll talk about how we hold it near the frog here in a minute. Then we can touch the stick. Okay, and then we have the tip of the bow. So the two locations we drive a lot in the bow are the tip and the frog. And we'll go in between those locations a lot. Now the bow is a little bit heavy. So a lot of times I ask students to practice the bow hold with a pencil to begin with. And so there'll be an assignment this week about you practicing your bow hold with a pencil, practicing your exercises with a pencil. So every day I want you to do this. If the pencil's super easy, you can use your real bow, okay? But you don't have to. Always start easier. We want to be more successful with the easy than try the hard and not be successful, okay? So you also should have rosin. That's kind of an important thing. Let me get the rosin out of my case here. Everyone's rosin looks a little different. Different sizes, different shapes, different colors. It's okay. We're all a little different. Okay. So we've got this rosin. So, yeah, interesting. This is actually tree sap. A lot of people have asked me, what is rosin made out of? So, if you're studying states of matter, I think they were doing that in 5th grade. So, it's interesting to think about. The first thing when you get your bow out, it should be pretty loose. Hopefully, the person before you took good care of it. So, I don't know if you can see very well in the video, but the hair is very, very, very close to the stick in the center, and that's good. That's how we want it. So we have a little song that goes, tighten the bow before you play, loosen it before you put it away. So you're going to make sure that you sing that song. Let's sing it together. Ready? Sing. Tighten the bow before you play, loosen it before you put it away. I need you to remember that song. I'm going to be checking up that you know that. So every time you get the bow out, the first thing you're going to do is tighten it. Guess how you're going to tighten it? You're going to use this screw down here, righty-tighty. And it depends how big your turns are. I'm not going to give you a number. I don't really think a number is good because some people turn really big, some people turn small. But what I want you to do is look in the center. Your stick should look like an upside down rainbow shape. If it ever looks straight, that's bad. It's way too tight. Loosen it a lot. If it ever looks like a real rainbow shape, very, very, very bad. You will break your bow. Please loosen it a lot, okay? In between the hair and the stick, we should be able to fit a pencil if it's tightened nicely. Okay, this is tightened nicely, and it's not over tight. So we want it tight, but not too tight. After we've tightened it, then we can practice our bow hold, and we can rosin with our bow hold. So the way I teach a bow hold is with a bow song, and then there's another method that I use too. So I'll show you both. The bow song goes like this. Thumb bend, middle extend, fingers drop, flop till you drop. Okay, there's a lot in that song, so I want to sing it a few times. I'm actually going to set the cello down so that it's not distracting us and just focus on the bow. Okay. All right, let's sing it. Sing it with me this time. And if you can do the motions, do it with me. By the way, if you're left-handed, we use our right hand to hold the bow. So sorry, you don't get a choice. You're going to use your left hand too. Everybody uses both hands. The left hand is for the fingering. The right hand is for the bow. And we have to do that because that's how the cello is set up. We can't change the setup of the cello. We all have to match so we don't crash into each other at concerts. Yeah, there's a lot of reasons why. It doesn't matter if you're right or left-handed. You're going to use both hands anyways, so no big deal. So let's sing the bow song together. Do this with me with a pencil. Maybe I'll start with a pencil to make it easier for you to follow. Or I saw some people use a Harry Potter wand or a toothbrush or a Starbucks coffee stirrer. Those little plastic coffee stirrers work really good because they're not as stiff as a pencil. A little more flexible. I like that. So yeah, find whatever is not too heavy, and you can practice this without even having an instrument. If you don't have one yet, this works great. Okay, so ready, go. Thumb bend, middle extend, fingers drop, flop till you drop. That's our bow hold. You want to make sure you got that bent thumb. If you see wrinkles in your thumb, not good. It's got to be bent. And then you're leaning your hand. I call it a salt shaker. So just practice, and keep in mind the video is always backwards. When you see something in a mirror image, it might look a different way than it actually is. But I'm leaning my right hand to the left. Think about that. Like a salt shaker. So I'm leaning into my pointer finger. Actually, so much that maybe sometimes I might lift up my pinky, my ring finger, my middle finger. So there's only two fingers on the bow or the pencil or whatever I'm holding. And then I can just drop them. That looks a lot different than this bow hold. This is what I see a lot of beginners try to do. And I mean, it doesn't sound good. I'll show you later. Trust me. There's a reason why we want to do the salt shaker. Okay. So make sure you got that bent thumb. Make sure you got the salt shaker. I'm going to show you some exercises that will work with that in a little bit. You can keep practicing on a pencil or a stick or whatever you're using. I'm going to move the same thing to the bow. Let's try it again. Ready, see? Thumb bend, middle extend, fingers drop, flop till you drop. And now I'm holding it. And if you're doing it on a real bow and it's too heavy, go back to something lighter. We always want to stay successful. The more exercises you practice, the easier it'll get, and then the real bow won't be so heavy anymore. But the first time is very, very heavy. So We need to keep our hand shape good. We want to have the hand relaxed, a little bit of space, not squeezing, doing that salt shaker hold, thumbs bent. Here's another good way you can do it. Just think about relaxing like you're going to sleep. Hold your hand out like somebody's going to pay you some money. And then turn your bow upside down and slide your hand. You have a good bow hold. Usually that works out pretty easily. That's a good way to do it too. So now we're going to use the rosin, and we're just going to go up and down on the rosin, I would say. So when we go from the frog to the tip, that's a down bow, tip to the frog, up bow. We can do that down bow, up bow pattern 3 times, down, up, down, up, down, up. If you have a brand new bow, you will need a lot more rosin. Let me know that in our next orchestra call. You might not know if you got a brand new bow either. So we'll find out when we start to play. But that'll be okay. You can let me know then. Okay, so we've got a good bow hold. Let's practice our bow song one more time. Use whatever is easy for you. Pencil, coffee stirrer, Harry Potter wand, bow. Thumb bend, middle extend, fingers drop, flop till you drop. I like to use my left hand when I'm doing a real bow and hold the tip. Remember, don't ever touch the bow hair. It makes it a little lighter. Then the other thing you need to know about the bow is that the elbow, my right elbow, is going to open and close. The goal is going to be to not use the shoulder at all. We're only using the elbow. We're opening and closing the elbow. When we open it, that's a down bow. When we close it, that's an up. Down, up, down, up. You can use your left hand to help you practice. By the way, when you're sitting, you need to sit to play cello. Unfortunately, you can't stand. You need to sit on a hard chair. No couch, no soft, comfy, cushy chair, no swivel chairs. Just a hard surface. If you have a piano bench, that works perfect. Your feet are flat, kind of like just hip distance apart. You're not like lounging, like, I'm going to take a nap. You're not like that. Your back is straight. Posture matters a lot. Your energy in your body is going to go into your instrument. So let's think about that. So let's see. We're talking about our good bow hold, and we've got our bent thumb. We've got our salt shaker. We've got our elbow makes the bow go that we've learned. With those things, I'm going to show you some exercises. So if you check your bent thumb, and if you're doing this with a pencil, this works fine too. Touch it to your nose. Pick a number. The bent part of your thumb is touching your nose, not the bow hair, by the way. Remember, that hair doesn't touch anything. Pick a number between 5 and 10. Do it that many times. And this is an exercise that will help grow your hand stronger. You can do this even as breaks when you're like, I need a break in my math homework time. Okay, do some bow exercises. Okay, or you're doing some chores and you're like, I'm going to take a break before I do my next chore. Do some bow exercises. You can do windshield wipers. Don't let the bow hit anything. Make sure your thumb is bent. Make sure you've got that salt shaker. By the way, you can practice salt shaker on your body, just pressing into the stick. As long as you're wearing pants, don't let the bow hair touch your skin, but it can touch your clothes. You'll probably get some white rosin marks on them, but they wash right off. Okay, so you press however many times your number is, between 5 and 10, that's how many times you press the stick down to the hair. So we've done salt shakers, we've done thumb bumps, we've done windshield wipers. You can do elbow makes the bow go. You can try different rhythms that way too. You can do pepperoni pizza. That's a good rhythm that we'll start with a lot. Really short bows. Remember, we always start down bow by opening our elbow first, okay? So now we've got windshield wipers, we've got an elbow makes the bow go, we've got salt shakers, we've got thumb bumps. One more exercise I'll show you is keeping that good bow hold and stirring the soup. Okay, pick Take your favorite soup. Don't stir super fast. Spin that thumb. Keep everything relaxed. Make sure you're not holding it like this, okay? That's not a good bow hold. Yeah. Take a video of yourself, okay? Your assignment's going to be to send me a video of you singing your bow song and showing me your bow exercises. So I want to see how good these bow holds look on our first week. And they're going to get even better every time we practice, okay? If you're really interested in learning how to hold the cello, you can practice holding an imaginary cello. But that gets a little bit tricky because then you only have one hand for your bow. This is going to be like your drink of water hand. We'll talk more about that next week when we do the real cello. But if you don't have a good bow hold, we can't do the real cello. So really, really, really practice the good bow hold very, very safely, very, very well. And then always remember, tighten the bow before you play, loosen it before you put it away. So when you're done, you're going to loosen the bow just the same amount that it was tightened. So you can see now the hair is a lot looser. It's not anywhere near this. I mean, it's not as far away as it was. There's no way I could fit a pencil in between the stick and the hair now. Okay, that's good. That's how we want to put it to sleep and put it in its case. Remember to put it on its side in the case. Safe spot away from pets and all the other things that could harm it. So, yay, thank you for watching this. I hope that you're able to practice with this video every day this week, and I'll see you in class. Bye.